Welcome to this sharing this morning. And I want to talk about where do we get our inspiration? Many times as human beings, we go through moments in life or seasons where we have low energy, or we are going through darkness, or we are confused, or we lose motivation for life, for education, for career, for family, for sometimes everything. And sometimes you need a boost. You need someone to give you a kick, someone to encourage you, someone to speak some words which can stir up the fire again and keep you moving. And we have so many sources of inspiration. But I want to tell you a short story that I had someone tell recently, and then we come to a conclusion of this. Man told me a story, or I had him tell a story of an of an a man who used to work in a factory. And every time he used to come to work in the morning, he will stop like three three buildings before the factory. And on that building, there was a big clock. And then he will adjust his watch to match the clock. And then there was a man who used to stay inside that building. He kept on watching this man. Every time he comes, he stops outside the house. He looks up to the big clock and he adjusts his watch on the wrist. And then he goes. Then after some time, he wanted to confront this man and ask him, why do you stand here and I only see you look up and then I see you do something on your watch? And so he waited for him the following day. So as usual, the man came, stopped, looked up, adjusted his clock. Then this man approached him and asked him, I just want to know, why do you do this? And then the man told him, I work as the bell ringer in our factory, which is just like 2, 3 blocks from here. But my watch has a problem. Uh, Sometimes it's behind, sometimes it's fast. So every morning when I come here, I use this clock up here to adjust my watch to the right time, so that when I go to the factory and I ring the bell, during when work starts and when people should take breaks and when the work ends, so that I know that I get it right. This man looked at him and said, wow, that's very interesting, because this big clock here is mine and it has also problems. So what I do every time when it's lunchtime, I listen. And when I hear the bell from the factory, which is your factory, then I know it's lunchtime and I know what exactly that time is. So I also adjust this clock using that man who rings the bell at the factory. And all of you can finish, the story, and it was a good laughter there. What does this mean? I think two things that we can learn from this. The first one is there are people who look up to us, whether you know or you don't know. They get inspiration, they get direction, they get how to do things by simply watching you. And many times you don't know. What does that mean? It means that we have a responsibility, not only to ourselves, but to other people. There are people who are watching how you handle difficult moments, when you are mad, when you are annoyed, when you are happy, when you are discouraged, when you're going through tough moments, when everything is okay with you. There is somebody watching how you behave, how you do everything, and they are looking up to you, because exactly how you carry yourself is how they will carry themselves, because they are trying to learn from you. So you have a very big responsibility, and especially to us who are Christians. Someone's made this statement and it was very interesting. He said that to us Christians, sometimes we may be the only Bible that non-Christians around us will ever read, because either they are not interested in reading the actual Bible. So when you claim you're a Christian, or when they know that you're a Christian in the family, at the workplace, at school, or somewhere else, then they're watching your life, how you do things, how you talk, the language you use, what kind of movies you watch, what kind of music you listen to. When things don't go your way, how do you behave? How do you relate with people? What is your lifestyle? Everything. How do you react to people? You are the only Bible that they are watching. So, a word of caution, be careful. You have a responsibility. Some of us are, you know, adult people, and children are looking up to us. And whatever we do, we are molding a culture in them because they are adjusting their small clocks or watches on their wrist to the big clock which they are seeing. And then the second thing that we can learn from this story is actually interesting, is this. The small clock or watch was depending on the big clock, without knowing that the big clock also depends on the small watch on the wrist. So they were misleading each other. This one thinks this one has it right, the other one thinks this one has it right. What do I mean? Sometimes we think that the people around us, those popular influencers that we follow on Facebook, on Twitter, and every other social media, the pastors, the spiritual leaders, our bosses, the auntie, the best friends, or other people you think, oh yeah, those are people who have really, achieved it in life. They are the big clock, and we look up to them. The reality is that sometimes they also don't have it right. Sometimes they may come in public and just express themselves, and you look at them and the way they dress, the way they talk, and you think they have it all together, but you don't know that behind those makeups, behind the good, nice dresses, behind the photoshopped or filtered photos that they put on Facebook or other social media, is actually someone who is broken behind. And they're also looking somewhere else to find a mentor, an inspiration, a word of encouragement. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that human beings are not a perfect big clock that we should adjust our small clocks to. Yes, we can look up to people, but remember, they are also human beings. They can go wrong. They can get it wrong. Even if they are spiritual leaders, they can get it wrong. They can fail. That leaves us with only one option of an unfailing, perfect big clock which we can look up to, and that is God in heaven. And He has given us the Bible. And when we look into the Bible gives us the best big clock to which we can adjust our lives accordingly. When you feel discouraged, I've read so many books. I've also read the Bible. My conclusion is the Bible is the best encouragement book that we can ever read. When you're looking for direction, the Bible is the best compass which can give us. And that is why in this ministry of inspiration moments with me, Pastor Paul Atino Mayo, I always use the Bible as the source of inspiration, as the source of encouragement, because ultimately that is the best. So I welcome you. You can check me out on YouTube. My YouTube channel is called Paul Atina Omayo. I do inspiration moments there, but also I do many other things on that. But specifically on Facebook, it's called Inspiration Moments with Pastor Paul Atino Mayo. And I'll be bringing some videos, some guests sometimes, and let us walk together in this journey of encouraging one another, inspiring one another. But remember this, you can look up to people to inspire you, to encourage you, to give you direction, to counsel you, to guide you, but they can also get it wrong. But we are not alone. God has given us the big clock, which is perfect, which has the right timing. And when we look up to Him, when we look up to His word, we shall never fail. God bless you, and follow me up